Bobby Manning here. Welcome to a news edition of the Garden Report. Blake Griffin has reportedly signed a one-year veteran minimum deal, fully guaranteed, with the Celtics. Player of his age gets $2.9 million on a deal like that. Though a weird cap wrinkle I became aware of today states that the league reimburses a team like the Celtics down to $1.8 million, a third-year player's minimum salary for the cap figure and the luxury tax figure. So the Celtics do push through that $170 million threshold into the next luxury tax tier with this move. So they'll now be charged $375 per dollar, and that bumps them up from, I think they entered today around $45 million luxury tax bill, and this brings them up to around $51 million. Would have been $55 million for a full veteran minimum, but since it was signed for 1 year, they get a little relief from the league. Now, in terms of Griffin, entering the season 33 years old, coming off 2 years with the Nets. First year, a pretty successful one where he's starting at center, battling Giannis in the playoffs, hitting some threes, shot 38.3% from three with Brooklyn that year, dunked for the first time in forever, averaged 10 points per game. That's the kind of Blake that the Celtics are going to want to see. 5 rebounds in just 21 minutes of action, over 2 assists. Last year, though, that Blake wasn't present at 32. Averaged only 17 minutes a game, fell out of the Nets rotation, shot 42.5% from the field, 26.2% from three, and just 6.4 points per game. Now, Christian Winfield, who covers the Nets, went on a podcast and talked about how Blake fell out of favor with Steve Nash last year. Nash didn't like his ability to hit shots when he was open. And that's why through Game 1, Game 2 of that Nets Celtics series, he wasn't on the floor. Now he comes out in Game 3, hits a pair of threes, pushes the Nets to within single digits, goes on that great run, picks up a pair of stops, I believe, defending in the post. Brought great energy off the bench, but that was 7 minutes. Nets lost that game. Celtics found a way to go at him, especially into Game 4, where Jaylen Brown lit him up. So you don't love Blake's ability to rotate on the perimeter, switch, guard wings at this point in his career. Even though his body does kind of look like a wings, he's a big man. He needs to defend those big, bruising centers at this point in his career. And is he going to be able to sustain physically? That's the other big question here. Injuries, a constant at this point in Blake Griffin's career. Now, roster-wise, Celtics might have needed this. Luke Kornet, according to Shams Charania, sprained his ankle at practice on Thursday. I believe that's why we didn't see him out there. I don't think I saw him yesterday at practice. So Kornet's going to miss 1 to 2 weeks with that. Fiondu Kabengele is in the mix at this point. They like his energy, but he's a two-way player. You have Grant Williams, who's going to be playing minutes at the 4 as well. So this is to sustain. Now, Celtics went out to L.A., according to Woj, and saw his workouts and must have shown them something. And I think it is that passing. Over 3 assists per 36 minutes, high rebounding numbers over that metric as well. He can view the floor from the big man position, make handoffs, find teammates on cuts. That ball movement emphasis that the Celtics like, he fits that. And can he find that three-point shot again? That'll make him a little more effective on the offensive end, because that burst, that athleticism, that dunking that made Blake Griffin through, I think, 14 years of his career to this point, it's gone. So to recap, Celtics sign Blake Griffin on a minimum deal. The luxury tax hit a little lighter than we thought, though over $50 million is now their tax bill. About a 6-ish million hit on this signing. So somewhere around $10 million altogether, though they'll get a few $1 million of that back. Sources say of the 20-man roster that the Celtics have right now, which is the offseason limit, it looks like Denzel Valentine is going to get waived in this deal, who played for the Maine Celtics last year, was in training camp on a tryout deal through the first 3 practices. shooter, veteran in the league. Looks like he's going to be the one cleared out to sign Griffin, given that the Celtics were at that max spot. And as far as the regular season goes, Celtics only had 12 regular season players signed out of a possible 15. And of course, you have your two-way deals. So he fits into the regular season roster without clearing any of their other guaranteed players out. Seems like Luke Kornet will still make this team, though he's on a partially guaranteed $300,000 deal until it hits just over $1 million on opening night. So keep an eye on him too, health-wise at this point, I guess. And then, as I said, Kamengele going to get some opportunity here starting Sunday against the Hornets. Blake Griffin, we'll hear from him. After all those years where Celtics fans dreamed and photoshopped him in green, it looks like he'll be pursuing that first championship with the Celtics this year in an unexpected role on a team that over the last couple weeks has seen its depth thin a little bit here. And both sides ultimately saw an opportunity for each other. Blake Griffin is a Boston Celtic. Garden Report brought to you by Calm. Calm.com/Garden gets you 40% off. Premium subscription of sleep sounds, meditation, yoga, bedtime stories, and more. Go get that. And Athletic Greens, athleticgreens.com/garden gets you, of course, their powder. Pour it in your drink. 75 vitamins, minerals, adaptogens, probiotics, and more. Immune-boosting vitamin D. They're going to give you a year's supply of that when you try it out, as well as 5 free travel packs when you go to athleticgreens.com/garden. That's athleticgreens.com/garden. Get that month subscription. People love it. Look at the reviews if you don't believe me. And they're also going to give you a nice bottle to drink it out of and a container to store it in. Great tropical taste. Goes down nice and smooth. I love it. We've all loved to hear on the Garden Report for that little burst of energy as these days get a little chillier and darker. I'm Bobby Manning. We'll have coverage of Celtics practice with Blake Griffin in town Saturday morning at Celtics CLNS on Twitter, Celtics All Access on YouTube, as well as his presser on CLNS Media on YouTube. Talk to you soon.